Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. We have got another what's for dinner for you guys. We have got 7 super easy and delicious weeknight meals to share. Today's video is extra special. It is a collaboration with my good friend Megan over at Megan's Kitchen. If y'all have not heard of her before, y'all definitely need to go check out her channel. She shares some delicious recipes. She also shares some grocery hauls and much more. I will have all her information listed in the description box below, so make sure y'all go give her some love after you're done watching my video. For the first meal on this video, we are going to be doing some burgers and some fried squash with some baked beans. I'm just getting my veggies prepped up and ready to go. For the baked beans, I'm just using some leftover pork and beans that we had for a lunch, and I'm taking those and just adding in some brown sugar, some ketchup, some Worcestershire sauce, some mustard, some barbecue sauce, some garlic, some pepper, some salt, and a little bit of that onion that I had prepped up. I'm just going to mix that together well, and I just bake that at 375 for about 30 minutes. I covered about halfway, and I don't measure, y'all. I'm also adding in some paprika, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. I don't measure. I just kind of add a little bit, look at the color of it, taste it, see if it, needs anything else. I also added in some bacon. I almost forgot about the bacon. You can't forget about the bacon and baked beans. So Luke reseasoned the Blackstone for the spring and summer season, and I'm so excited. So we decided to do some burgers on the Blackstone. He is just seasoning the O's up on both sides with some of the SPG SuckleBusters. That link is always in the description box. But I am so excited for him to be using the Blackstone more. I am definitely over this cold weather and ready for some good Blackstone cooking. Go along with the burgers and the baked beans, I'm going to do some fried squash. I just melt down a couple tablespoons of butter, and I added in the rest of the onion that I had prepped up, and we're just going to cook that until it's translucent, and then we will add in our squash. I added in a little bit of garlic and just stirred that around until it was fragrant. I added in the squash and then gave it a toss, and then I seasoned it up with some of the Dano's Original. I will try to find a link for that on Amazon. That is a Kentucky Proud product, and it is really, really good, and they also have different flavors. About 15 minutes in to cooking the baked beans, I just took them out, stirred them, and then I covered them with foil and let them finish cooking the last 15 minutes covered. When the squash is cooked to your liking, you just top it with some cheese, and then I put a lid on it and let that cheese melt, and then it's ready to serve. And here is everything. We have our baked beans. We had bacon from where he reseasoned the Blackstone, and then he's got the burgers, and then we have our cheesy fried squash. We have our buns and our condiments. Next up is one of Luke's favorite. We had chicken broccoli top casserole. I will actually be sharing this tomorrow. I'm doing a Campbell's inspired recipe video tomorrow, so y'all stay tuned for Monday's video. On Tuesday night, we ended up having yo-yo night. You're on your own. We had a lot of leftovers from the chicken broccoli top casserole, and we also had some burgers left over from Sunday night, so we just did whatever you want, and I decided to pick me a bowl of cereal. I love me some cereal, and I could eat that every night if it was just me. Next up is breakfast for dinner, my father-in-law's favorite. For this night, we just did some biscuits and some eggs with some gravy. I just cooked the eggs up on my Crepe Maker, my little round griddle. I've been getting a couple questions about this, so I will have it linked in the description box. It was a sponsored video last year that I did it for, and I absolutely love that thing. Highly recommend. Here is my plate. I just did biscuits. I'm not a huge fan of eggs, so I just did biscuits and gravy for this night. We are going frozen pizza tonight. I cooked up a pepperoni and a cheese Red Baron. The classic crust is our favorite. Super easy dinner, y'all. I needed some cooked hamburger meat for a recipe that I had made that morning. So I just took and cooked it all and seasoned it all, and then just divided it up for that recipe, and then I put the leftover in a container. So I pulled it out, and I went to my prepper pantry and found a Hamburger Helper that was actually out of date, but y'all know I'm totally fine with that. As long as it's dry, it doesn't bother me. So I am just going to cook up that box Hamburger Helper using that already cooked beef, and then we will get the corn on, and we're going to make some garlic bread with the leftover buns. When the Hamburger Helper was almost done, I added in a pack of this Velveeta cheese sauce. And y'all, it just made it super cheesy and delicious. I just stirred that in and then let it continue cooking for a couple more minutes, and dinner was ready. I'm telling y'all, this took no time. With having that already cooked, seasoned ground beef and just dumping it in and like putting everything together, like this took no time and it was delicious. Last but definitely not least, we are doing some baked chicken and veggies. I'm using this McCormick 1-sheet pan, the Farmer's Market one. I have used this before, and y'all, it is so good. I'm just following the directions on the back of the package. I like to use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. For my veggies, I got an onion, some carrots, a couple sweet potatoes, and a couple regular potatoes. I'm just going to cut up all my veggies and then get everything tossed and ready to go. I did only end up using one of those packets of the Farmer's Market seasoning. I wasn't sure, so I had both of them sitting out there, but I only used one, and y'all, it was so delicious. Everything was seasoned well. And then for the chicken, I like to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar just right on the chicken, and then you just bake that in the oven till the chicken reaches the internal temperature of 165. To go along with that, we are going to do some Parmesan orzo. This is super easy, but it does take a little time, and I'll explain why in a second. I will try to find a recipe for you guys. I don't follow one personally, but I'll try to find one for you guys. In the future, I might try to measure next time and type it up for you. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. But as you've seen, I just took and melted down a couple tablespoons of butter. I added in my orzo, and you're just going to let that get nice and toasty. In the pan, just keep stirring it and let it get nice and toasty. And then once it is toasty, you're going to add in a good tablespoon of minced garlic. And as you can see, your pan's really hot because you're toasting that pasta. So I took it off the heat and just stirred in the garlic so it wouldn't burn. And then now I'm going to add in some hot chicken broth. That pot that's back there on that back eye, I just have some chicken broth going. It's actually water and chicken bouillon. Whatever you use is fine. I normally do about 4 cups total of chicken broth, and I heat it up on the stove. And then you're just going to add like one to 2 cups at a time, and then just let it soak into the pasta and cook. And then once it's soaked in, you'll add in, say, like a cup or 2 more. You're just going to continue to do that. Add it in, let it cook down and soak in, and then do that again, if that makes sense. Like, that's where the time consuming part comes in, because it's super easy, but you have to wait in between. You have to wait like 8 to 10 minutes in between each time to let it soak in and cook your pasta. So as you see there, it is cooked. It's cooked down, and then now I've added in more. And I'm just going to let that all stir and just do it again. And I just continue to do that until I taste the pasta and it's cooked through. About 20 minutes in, I like to toss the veggies and check the temperature of the chicken to kind of see how much longer it has. So I ended up doing that process about 3 times, I believe, and I just tasted it. The pasta is now cooked through, so I'm going to add in some heavy cream, and I'm going to add in some Parmesan cheese. Now, I personally like to use the shredded Parmesan, but you'll see here in a second that I didn't have enough of it, so I just added what I had left in the bag, and then I've topped it off with some the sprinkle parm. Either's fine. Honestly, either's fine. You really can't taste the difference. I think it's just personal preference for me. But just give everything a good stir. You can add in more cream if you need to, and if it starts to thicken up on you, you can also add in some more of that warm chicken broth to kind of thin it back out. And here is everything. We have our cooked chicken and veggies. And we have our Parmesan orzo. I think this meal was my favorite meal of the week. And that is it, y'all. That wraps up this week's What's for Dinner video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some inspiration to cook more for your family at home. Just remember, it doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as your family is fed. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget that this video was in collaboration with Megan over at Megan's Kitchen. I will have all her information listed in the description box below. You definitely need to go give her channel some love. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.